I definitely agree with that. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. There's the pro of getting together when you're both young is that y'all should both be in your grind mode. It's great to get together and build from the ground up. When you get older and you're established and you're meeting people that are not established, that's when it starts being like, well, what have you been doing the past 10 years? You know, but at that age, I think it's perfectly normal to get with somebody and be like, let's build together. And the fact that he doesn't understand that his single life is going to be different from his relationship life and his life with a newborn is showing his lack of maturity. But I mean, he is 22, 23. So that's the risk you take when you settle down so early and have a child so young.
So
I think
in
that
that conversation, I thought my man gave him some bad advice. 90% of what he said was bad. What he told that young man, I don't give a damn if he's talking to himself or he's talking to somebody else. It was bad. Look, we can't act like being in a relationship is not hard, depending on the type of woman you get with, or the type of man you get with, or the type of individual you get. You can't act like that. You got some women who are needy. So that means you are constantly trying to cater to them on a regular basis. That's not easy, especially when you're a young man, you trying to grind. Now, to me, you can do it, but you got to have a conversation with this woman. And she needs to know what exactly you got going on. So now you got to be very transparent so she knows the situation. Because a young woman like that has a lot of insecurity issues because they're gonna see why are you always gone all the time? Why are you always doing these shows? Why are you here? Why you got all these women on your panels and all? They're gonna feel some type of way because they're gonna feel like, well, he's not with me. Is he out here with these other heifers? Is he cheating on me? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? And if you're not securing her by letting her know exactly what's going on, what's the deal, why you doing this, why you working so hard because you're trying to build for this family, it's going to be a problem. And so a man can do it as a young age if he's mature enough, mentally mature enough, or the individuals are mentally mature enough to have the conversation. Now, if you got a woman, you do exactly what I'm saying you should do, share what you tell, and she's still doing this, you need to cut that woman loose because she's not the woman for you. She's not in your corner. She's not looking to build with you. She wants you to be wherever you be, where you could be available all the time. Look, you're never going to stop grinding. I don't care how young you are, how old you are. You're going to continue to grind. The grind may be looking different as you get older, of course, but you're going to always continue to grind. You're never going to stop grinding. As long as you want to make better for you and your family, yourself, and your wife, you're going to always be grinding. The grind is never going to stop. Like I said, the only thing that's going to be different is how it looks. That's it.
Go ahead, King, talk. Let me unmute you. Hold on.
Greetings to everybody. Oh, yeah, my mic is on. All right, so with this particular young man, I think it's unfortunate. It shows that he probably does not have any other mature males in his circle, because somebody should have made a very simple solution. The conversation that Hank mentioned should be had, but at the same time, build a studio in the house.
Okay.
Sorry, build a studio in the house. It's a very simple solution. Build a studio in the house. At the moment of their relationship, his girlfriend happened to be a more accomplished musician than he is. So the idea of building a studio in the house, or even having a studio that's nearby, 10 minutes away, it would be that plus the conversation should be enough. It should be enough to solve that problem. She understands the music grind. She's in the music business. So I just think that was a conversation, that his youth and that his inexperience in that department just kind of showed itself. Yes, marriages work. Full-time, part-time, yep, marriages work. It's just supposed to be a job that you love. Like, let's not even pretend. It's supposed to be a job that you love. It's supposed to be a job that's going to kick your ass. Kick your butt on some days. And on other days, it's going to be that job that it bolsters you. You feel like this is what I got signed up for type bit. You know what I'm saying? But everything in life that's worth it takes some work. So, of course, it's going to feel like a job sometimes.
Like Law said, I know Law said that his wife and you guys built together. That don't happen a lot because a lot of people grow and mature in relationships and they change. You know, I have two friends, but they've been with the same guy since high school. Same thing. They grinding together. All of a sudden, you know, there's a selfish moment because now you've been grinding hard. You see something else, and they grew apart. So when you starting that young, yeah, it might sound a little good, but y'all still growing up, having your own opinions, decide what else you want to do with life, and that person may not be the person that you see eventually. So sometimes I feel like trying to start real young, early, get married early, like it's not gonna work. Not in today's, you know, maybe back in the day, you know, it used to, but not in our days of dating. Getting married and starting that young when it's so quick to make money online and do so much stuff. Like just like I mean, it all came out in DDG's conversation. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. Yeah, you growing, you grinding, and you realizing now the same person is here, and she still wants that same attention. And what you got to do is going. So yeah, you know, it's nice. It sounds good to start that young, but at the end of the day, people grow and mature and they grow apart.
So, Chanel, do you think that we're making excuses when we say people grow apart? Do you think that's something that's loosely being thrown out there as a excuse for people to be okay and say, "Oh, we just grew apart"?
No, because it's just the same as like when you're young and in your mind you think, I want to grow up and be a doctor. And then, you know, saying you growing, you know, saying you meeting people, you learning things, you traveling, you doing stuff, and you start seeing yourself in a different light. You know, saying you start seeing yourself doing something different. It's the same in relationships too. When you're that young, y'all young, and all y'all see is we gonna do this together, and then reality, life happens, and that's how it. So it's not an excuse. You know, I don't think it should be an excuse. That's just reality. You know that people do grow apart, and that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, we not gonna work. We successfully hung in there for 13, 14 years. That's great. That's still successful. But just because y'all broke up after being together that young, it's understandable. Especially when you've been married, you know, you've been married before and you know what marriage is. It's like, yeah, they got a lot to learn. They're not ready for all of that. And they tried it, cool. But it doesn't mean that it was a failed situation or a failed relationship.
Oh, I would have to challenge that and say I think that it is a cop out. It's an easy way to walk away from something that you have invested 12, 13 years in, regardless if you were 19 or if you were 32. We see people going through the same exact thing at all of these ages, especially now. So I think that um, if you lose the hindsight of what the ultimate goal is in the relationship, we have come this far. Of course, we're going to grow over the 10, 20 years, but the idea is to grow together and continue to learn each other. We're going to change, we're going to evolve, but are we going to constantly put in the work to fully understand who it is that you're becoming, and kind of let go of what we were when we were young? As the saying goes, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I spoke as a child, but once I became a man, I changed my ways. So that has to go hand in hand on both sides for men and women. So if we are approaching this thing called life together, then we have to continuously grow and evolve and communicate. But we live in an era now where it's easier just to walk away, and it's easier to say, oh, we just grew apart.